All right, guys, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. We are in mid-March, and I'm telling you, fantasy football will be here before we know it. So we're laying down the groundwork. We're doing the work here today. Got a fun little episode here for you. We're talking about count them, five hidden gems. Now, what is a hidden gem? Okay. It's not really a sleeper. It's not a top tier player, but it's a player that has some upside that is a little bit off people's radar. So I want to make sure you guys kind of understand what I'm saying. So you may know the name, you may not. Most likely you'll probably know the name. I know that name. That makes sense. But they fly a little bit under the radar and they've got some upside. Hopefully that makes sense for you. They're hidden gems. They're going to be great value in drafts and you can get them and they've got some awesome upside and some flex play upside. Okay, so I don't expect these guys to absolutely crush it this year. I want to get that across. This isn't like a boom upside players or players that I'm overly giddy about. I'm like, oh man, I got to have these guys. But when I look at the scenario, I think they're in a great situation. So we're talking about 5 hidden gems. Excited to dive into it right now. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the thumbs up, takes a second of your time, smash it, tap it, slap it, and let's get to the show. All right, guys, let's dive into it here. 5 hidden gems. Excited to dive into it. Now, before I do, guys, make sure, again, smash that thumbs up, lion smash thumbs up, and drop a comment below. I want to make this super interactive. Drop a comment below. Let me know below who is a hidden gem for you after I give you mine or even after I give you a couple. I kind of get this hidden gem stuff. I'm going to leave a name. So I want to make this interactive, guys. Drop it below and secure the 16-round draft so you can pre-order right now using code SMASH. Upon checkout, guys, make sure you guys add the Fantasy Sports Summit. We got rookie trade bets, a top running back prospect. Come into the show. It's going to be a live virtual conference. And also, we got Tajay Spears and more being booked. And you're automatically entered to win a PS5. Right here below, get the 16-round draft solution and upsell. Make sure you can see a little bit of thing for an upsell. And would you want fries with that? And man, is it a big fry here. You got the Fantasy Sports Summit, which is a game changer. All right, make sure you guys get them below. Use code SMASH to save on 16 rounds, okay? All right, let's talk about the first gem right here, hidden gem, is Khalil Shakir. Now, again, I'm going to give you guys some names that I don't regularly talk about, not really high on my radar in regards to upside players, but they're hidden gems and there could be something there, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Khalil Shakir is entering his 3rd season. He was a 5th-round pick in 2022. Last year, not the greatest season. 45 targets, 39 receptions for 611 yards and a couple touchdowns. Okay, well, Joe, why are we talking about a guy who, hasn't really wowed us? Well, now there's no Gabe Davis. That's huge. He goes off to wherever he's gone, Jacksonville. That frees up 81 targets. Well, okay, that's not bad. So Shakir had 45 targets. Davis was the number 2 there. And now they bring in a guy that's had years to wow us. We're not wowed in Curtis Samuel. So do you get more volume to a guy who showed some upside last year and a younger guy in Khalil Shakir, or do you use good old washed up Curtis Samuel? By the way, Curtis Samuel, 8th season, 0 1,000-yard receiving seasons, absolute garbage player. Curtis Samuel is not good at all. Or do you go towards Khalil Shakir? They're going to need another option there. Now, there is rumor that maybe Diggs maybe shipped off. Maybe he might go, but in that case, they're going to have to draft a receiver or bring someone else in because I don't think Khalil Shakir is a true wide receiver 1. Definitely not. So, by the way, this whole move with Gabe Davis being gone, the uncertainty at wide receiver definitely boosts up Kincaid's value as well. Dalton Kincaid, tight end. Now, when I look at Shakir, again, I'm seeing a guy who's young, dynamic, got some upside, had a couple good games last year, but is a hidden gem, a guy that you can get later for value that can have some upside with Josh Allen throwing the ball. I mean, that's the important thing, right? The quarterback throwing the ball, the situation, and the situation looks pretty good for Khalil Shakir. Something to note. And there's your first hidden gem. Does this make sense, guys? Not a guy I regularly talk about, not a guy that, I'm actively going and saying, hey, man, I got to have this guy, but there might be something there. Again, this is all preliminary. We're in March. We're overanalyzing this stuff, okay? All right, let's move on here. Number 2, you're definitely going to know this name. And when I say hidden gem, meaning, He's still there, but he's going to be a little bit under the radar is Chase Brown, running back for the Bengals. There's no Joe Mixon, freed up 250 rushing attempts. They bring in Zach Moss, who's had years to wow us. We're not wow. Now, Zach Moss did okay in some certain games with Jonathan Taylor being out, so I'll give him credit there, but I don't think he's a true RB1. Now, if the situation stays the way that it is, they don't draft another guy, they don't bring in another running back. If it stays the way that it is, I don't see any reason why Chase Brown doesn't have a chance to take that RB1 role over Zach Moss. Now, last year, 44 attempts, 179 yards, 4.1 yards per carry for Chase Brown. He was a fifth-round pick, prototypical running back, 5'10", 211 pounds. Again, they didn't bring in like a Saquon or a Jacobs or anything like that. They got rid of their workhorse guy and Mixon, again, freeing up 257 attempts. I can't express to you how important that is. And, I would almost like the value, because I would assume right now, not even assume, on the depth chart, Zach Moss is theoretically the one, and I don't believe he's a true one. So there could be something there. Chase Brown, diamond in the rough, assuming they don't draft anybody else. This is all predicated on the NFL draft. Again, this is a preliminary talk. Again, we've already talked about Chase Brown. People are aware of Chase Brown. I understand. Yes, Joe, I know about Chase Brown. But I still think he's a bit of a hidden gem, because I think he's going to be great value. He has that opportunity to shine. When I look at the depth chart, the way that it sits now, pre-NFL draft, there is some upside there. My only concern is the fact that he was a fifth-round pick, not very high draft capital. And then you got Zach Moss. Years to wow us, we're not wow. It was a backup in Indy. I don't know if he could take the role fully. I don't believe he can. I don't think he's that good. So Chase Brown has some opportunity here. So again, we're going to monitor the situation. But Chase Brown, another hidden gem, okay? Again, I'm going to have this all laid out for you guys in 16 rounds. Comes out well, you can pre-order it now for the best price. Use code SMASH to save. But I come out first or second week in May after the draft. I lay this all out for you. All the optimal players drafted each round, sleepers, breakouts, everything you need. I don't know who's going to thrive until after the NFL draft, after the rookies come in and the depth charts kind of fill out. Now, free agency is done. Great. We saw a little bit of NFL combine. We kind of know who the potential guys that could do well are. Great. Right? But now we need to know what team they land on, because that's ultimately going to give us the impact. Okay? So get 16 rounds. Use code SMASH to save. Link below. You can pre-order right now. Number 3. Well, Joe, I know this name. You're going to tell me a name I know. The guy I'm talking about is Josh Downs. I still think he's going to be great value. They re-signed Michael Pittman. They got Alex Pierce there, who's going to be the 3. Josh Downs, 98 targets last year, 68 receptions. Not bad. 771 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's definitely going to go up. He's not the tallest guy at 5'9", but the thing is, the guy is a decent guy, decent player. He was a third-round pick, relatively high draft capital, not a first-round pick. We're going to have to monitor and see what happens with the situation. Obviously, the quarterback with Anthony Richardson, he's a running quarterback. How much volume is he going to throw downfield? Is it going to be high? How is he going to do? Is he going to stay healthy? What's going on with the quarterback situation? So a lot of question marks in regards to this, but when you're looking at a guy that can get some volumes, again, 98 targets last year, that's definitely going to go up as he's more settled into the offense, taking that wide receiver 2 role. There is some opportunity here for Josh Downs to be a decent flex play option, value pick later. The talent is definitely there. The opportunity is definitely going to be there. So I think he's a bit of a hidden gem. Let me know in the comments what you think of Josh Downs. Again, these guys, I'm not like getting up in the morning and saying, yeah, man, Khalil Shakir, Chase Brown, and Josh Downs are my guys. It's not like that. I'm just looking at opportunity. I'm looking at seeds in the dirt that are planted, right? They could really blossom to some beautiful, beautiful fantasy production. Do you know what I'm saying? It's planted. They're in there. The foundation is built. There could be something there that could really bloom out and be solid. So again, you got to understand, this isn't like upside players, boom type players. These are hidden gems with potential. Okay. Number 4 here. All right. We saw a little bit of potential here with this guy. Number 4, again, drop your hidden gem below. I want to make this interactive. Okay, Rasheed Shahed, who is currently the wide receiver 2 on his team. Michael Thomas is going to be gone. Free agency gone. They don't want him. He's old. Can't stay healthy. Michael Thomas gone. With that void, Rasheed Shahed has an opportunity to step up. 75 targets, 46 receptions last year, 419 yards, 5 touchdowns. One problem with him, he's extremely volatile. One game, this guy would be a great best ball player. If you follow Jim's going to be doing a lot of like mock drafts during the season. Jimmy Maverick, one of the partners here, co-host And Tim the Bald Guy's coming back, by the way. I don't know if you heard about that. We're going to be doing a fantasy football tour. More information for that to come. So, Jim's going to be doing a lot of mock drafts, talking about best ball. And I think, you can put it in the comments. I think Rasheed Shahed could be a great best ball player, but also a good flex play upside guy. Again, this guy was the number 2 last year. Olave, 138 targets compared to 75 for Shahed. But again, extremely volatile. That's one thing you guys got to know about him. Extremely volatile, but upside is there. Consistency is going to be there in regards to a quarterback and being a wide receiver too, potentially on his team. Unless they bring in another wide receiver. But in regards to like position on his depth chart and quarterback play and all that, the landscape looks good. But the problem is, again, is the volatility. Some games he did well, some games not so well. But there is some upside with Rasheed Shahed, maybe taking a step up this year, potentially. Gonna be interesting to watch. Young player dynamic, looks good. Okay, in his 3rd season, by the way. Jerome Ford is number 5. Now, let me talk about this. Nick Chubb. Am I drafting Nick Chubb? Because you got to take a look at the Browns offense here. Kareem Hunt's going to get shipped off, gone. Nyheim Hines comes in. He's also coming off an ACL tear. Nyheim Hines, they're going to use him for pass-catching situations. They want that flexibility of a pass-catching back. Jerome Ford last year, 204 attempts, 813 yards, 4 touchdowns. Not the greatest, but decent, right? He was a 5th-round pick. But Jerome Ford can and should be the RB1 if Nick Chubb can't handle the load. Now, again, Nick Chubb was gone after week 2, tearing his ACL, MCL, banged up. He had multiple surgeries. I believe one of them was right after, right after the injury where he, his knee like jackknifed. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. And then he had another one, I think, in November. I would assume he would be theoretically ready by end of summer, good to go. But again, you got to consider coming off such a catastrophic knee injury. Is Nick Chubb going to be able to handle it? For me personally, a player, who isn't young anymore, he isn't like first, second year. He's been in the league for quite some time. Coming off such a major injury, and you got the upside of Deshaun Watson running the ball. I don't know, man. You got Watson coming back, running the ball. You got Nick Chubb coming off the injury. Again, I'm not excited about Jerome Ford, but I'm saying he could be a hidden gem value, could be the starter there. That's what I'm saying. They did add Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver core, to open things up, paired up with Amari Cooper. Things are going to open up here with this offense, and I think Jerome Ford is going to be a focal point as Nick Chubb gets into it, and will he get back into it? That's the question. That's why I think Jerome Ford could be some good value here for you. Okay, guys? Let me know what you guys think. So we got Khalil Shakir, Chase Brown, Josh Downs, Rasheed Shahed, Jerome Ford, some hidden gems, and some decent opportunity to shine, maybe thrive this year for Fantasy Football 2024. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Love to get your feedback. Subscribe, thumbs up, and make sure you guys, of course, grab 16 rounds. Use code SMASH to save. I've linked it below. You can pre-order it right now, okay? And add that Summit ticket. It's going to be amazing, all right? We'll talk soon, guys. Some hidden gems for you. I'm going to keep the content rolling for you guys. It's off season, but I'm out here grinding more than anybody so that you guys have the advantage. As we go into the season, it's like, we've already been there. We've kind of gone through this. You got a head start on everybody, all right? Subscribe, thumbs up. We'll talk soon. I'm out.